blastmusic247.com. We're changing the industry, one artist at a time.
Take those steps beyond your way. Take those steps when you have a dream. You gotta start. It's the only way. If you're gonna shine, and you're gonna shine, shine, shine. You're gonna shine. Hello, welcome to the ranch, everyone. Tonight we were brought to you by Blast Music 24/7, your one-stop for indie artists, My Indie Radio out in Paris, and the Plow Zone in California. We love all our listeners, so thanks for being on the ranch where we span the globe for the best in indie Americana music. And a lot of changes as the show grows. And we might have some growing pains over the next few weeks as we kind of develop, change platforms. Things are moving and shaking here on the ranch. So hopefully you'll stay with us for all of that. So again, we're here tonight. Billy's here. Hello, Billy. How are you? Hope it's not too hot in New York. Not too bad here. It's been a great day on the ranch. Howdy. With really low humidity. We seem to have like sidestepped spring and gone from winter, this little intermediary thing, and like straight to summer, which is fine by me because I like the heat. But today we are going to Boston. A good friend of mine. And it's going to be fun. It's like girls' night on the ranch as we have. Oh, thank you, Billy. Perfect, just like me. Oh, you're my favorite. We know you are, Billy. Okay, we do have listeners chiming in. So again, let me know where you're listening from. Linda, we got you in Boston.
Yes, you certainly have me in Boston. And we too went from winter directly to summer with a little bit of something in between.
Yeah, it was this thing.
Yeah.
The ups and downs of the weather, we had a tropical storm come in over the weekend that trashed the area, and it was tropical, the wind, and it came in, was done in a couple minutes and was out, just like the tropics. It was so weird, but that seems to be what's happening.
Yep, the plants are very confused.
I agree. Although I told you last time I was up in Boston with you, which wasn't that long ago, my gardening abilities are so lacking. And I tried this year to plant, and I did the whole seeds in an egg carton. Mm-hmm. I planted them, and the birds just destroyed it. I don't know.
Well, when we get to one of my songs, we'll have a whole conversation about it, because there's a whole thing going on here that's been going on for 3 years since the teardown in my backyard. So plants being destroyed, I know that well.
Oh yeah. And the attack of the rabbit, was it rabbits?
The first year it was an overabundance of cottontail bunnies. The second year it was a jackrabbit, and my neighbor saw a hedgehog, and they were like a gangland slayer to the plants. And the third year, which was last year, it was whoever it was, but I no longer planted certain things, and I built a cedar-sided planter with metal legs that they couldn't climb, and I tried to put chicken wire around it. And for a long time it worked. Eventually they got in. This year they're already going at it. It's like,
oh my goodness, where there's a will in the way,
where there's a will, there's a way. And even the wonderful turkeys, who have a wonderful song that's going to be coming out on my 2027 album, even the turkeys go at my tomato plants. It's like, it seems like there's a free for all. And the song that I wrote that was on my 2025 album, The Garden Buffet, I think it's now the garden buffet for any critter that walks around my neighborhood or flies.
Yeah, I mean, out here in the suburbs in the rural Pennsylvania, we kind of get used to that. We start to know, but that was kind of sprung upon you.
It was sprung on me. Yeah, I had lived here for like 9 years, and I could grow anything I wanted in my garden. And it's all in pots, so it's a little bit raised. But once there was the teardown behind me and it destroyed the fauna and the flora, everything changed.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't realize how much you are disrupting, things you're not
Yeah,
really seeing, that you're really aware of, but they had their own little habitats underneath these houses.
exactly. Yeah, I mean, I could see the change in the backyard because there was like a 50s Cape house, which was a perfectly normal house, and I didn't realize how big the lot was because of all the stuff that had grown there. And then they were
Um,
chipping into the bedrock and destroying the foundation of my house from it. So that I knew, but I didn't know until these things called Allianthus trees started taking over the world, and it required me to have a tree company cut two of them down after less than a year. That's how fast they grow, and they sprout little sprouts everywhere constantly. So I have to always be out there like looking for the baby to get rid of it before it grows. That happened. And then the fauna, that's the flora, but the fauna, my goodness. Oh, the other thing is invasive mint took over my garden too. It's
oh,
like
mint. As much as I love a mojito, holy cow, it can take over.
it takes over. It started attacking my flowering shrubs and the gladiolas and the irises, it and the lilies. Like it basically was attacking any other species in a word that it was winning. And I just had to have a landscaper pull it up because I couldn't keep up with it. Like I try to get it, and it has the most elaborate underground root system that takes over the world. So between the Allianthus and the invasive mint, forget it. And then the jackrabbit, the hedgehog, the cottontail bunnies, the turkeys, the birds, forget it.
Oh my goodness. You got your own ranch right there,
I've
right in
got
the
my
heart
own
of
ranch, and
Boston.
and I never intended the garden buffet to be open for business. So
Yeah, right. Oh my goodness. That's interesting. I mean, I don't have anything nearly like that. I have just planters on the windows. And from the winds and the storms, it's amazing what grows in there. Like there was
yes,
actually a tree growing inside the planter. And I'm watching it because I couldn't believe it. I'm like, how far can this go? And I'm like, stop, you got to get this out of here before you really takes root. But we got to talk music here. All right, all right, all right. We can go
well, we're
on all
talking
night.
backstory for songs, so
All right, all right. Because we've been together. We played a couple shows
yeah,
together. We have another one coming up in
yep,
October.
yes.
So, but it's going to be fun because we never really sat down and broke down your songwriting process and how this all
Hmm.
comes about. And you've been kind of experimenting with different styles recently,
Well,
I think.
well, I've always been a multi-genre artist. You know, that what I write versus what I end up producing into albums are two different things. And if I make an album, some of my albums were multi-genre, but it's much harder for them to get positioned in the industry. If I have jazz and country and Americana and something that could be on Broadway and some folk and some pop, like if that's on the same album, it's hard for that to position itself. So, because I write a lot of social impact songs and story songs, the folk Americana pocket is really my pocket. Every now and then, a little bit of jazz or something turns out to be a polka or something. But folk Americana has been the pocket I've been trying to focus on, trying. But yeah,
Yeah, I just read an article today about that and why it is so hard for songs to get traction because you put a song out, your algorithms get to learn about you
right.
and they find your fans and do that. Now, if you put out a song that's similar, it's going to use the same algorithms to stream the song along and you're going to get more traction. But if you have something completely different, it actually confuses the algorithms. They're trying to do the same thing and it doesn't work.
Yeah. Well, I'm
So,
sure just like my own dyslexia confuses me, my multi-genre tendency might confuse the algorithms, but there is a trend going on where, particularly in the folk Americana world, there's more creative amalgam going on. For example, yesterday I played in a show that I produced at a historic venue in Worcester called the Ship Room. And we did a trio of duos, although one of the duos became a trio with a family. But one of the duos, I brought them up from Houston, and it's a classically trained cellist with a singer-songwriter from Venezuela with slightly rock influences. So they're like chamber rock folk. They have their own little amalgam. But
right?
there are a lot of people that are starting to call themselves amalgam names. And I think that's cool. I mean, maybe it's going to ask the algorithms to get a little more creative and not just have things so narrowly defined. But I see that in the folk and Americana world, there's much broader definition with the amalgams going on.
Right. You know what? Like, I don't want to write thinking of algorithms. I want a song to be what a song wants to be. But, I am considering what's going to be released as a single and what's going to be released on an album.
Mm-hmm.
And if they don't live together on an album, then that's going to have to be a single,
Right.
or something else, used
Yeah.
in a different way, just maybe a video or something like that. Um, it's interesting.
It is interesting. Yeah. I mean, I find that folk and Americana are very, very similar. They have their differences, but there's a lot of similarity in them. And even in the Recording Academy for Grammys, I'm grateful that I've been a member for 5 years, a voting member. Both fall under a bigger category called American Roots.
Mhm.
So even Americana, there's sort of a classic Americana and the Americana that's more of the amalgam. In folk, there's a traditional folk and a folk that's more contemporary folk. Even on the Roots Music Report folk charts, there are these things: alternative folk, contemporary folk. There's the overarching just folk. And I usually chart both on the folk big chart, but then I've both charted on the alternative folk on some albums and contemporary folk for others. I chart on the Americana. It's like, so
Yeah.
there's sort of a
Yeah.
parsing, but there's sort of a holism to it as well.
Yeah. And it's interesting because they've done that finally with country, because country is so divided, and now they have a modern country track as well. And they're taking that American roots and kind of breaking it down a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny, they never had to do that for country and folk before. It was always
Yeah.
rock that was alternative and punk.
Right.
It had all these
Yeah.
categories. And now all of a sudden, like, folk is fragmented, country's fragmented,
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's talk about what your is this the title track, You're Not Alone?
You're Not Alone. Yeah, that's on my brand new Queen of the Angels album, and it was released as a single ahead of the album.
Ahead of the album, right. Okay, so this is going to be your first release. Tell me the
Well,
the story.
it was released because Queen of the Angels came out in March of this year. So the tracks that were released ahead of the album came out prior to March.
Sure, but tell me
Yeah.
about the song.
Okay.
What's it about?
It's a gorgeous, gorgeous song. People love this song. And I wrote it specifically to sing as a duet with my dear friend Dimitris Nesis
Oh.
from Greece. And the way this song evolved is he and I and Constantine, his partner, we were all standing outside of Wild Wings Cafe in Atlanta several years back. And I wanted to write a song that would be perfect to sing with Dimitris, like, because he's a very heartfelt person. I'm a very heartfelt person. And I so wanted something that would sort of uplift his process of trying to be in the United States full time. Both of them deserve to be here and are so credentialed. We're in a crazy time for incredibly credentialed, talented people who deserve to be here, to go through the hoops to be here. So I wanted to write a song that would like support his process. And so You're Not Alone started to come to me literally as I was traveling back home from Atlanta. And it's a song about the very human yearning for soul deep, lifelong love. That's what it's about. That almost everybody I know has this yearning. Some people, have had it and lost it. Some have never found it, but everyone yearns for it. Even if people have it, they wonder if they'll keep it. So,
Mhm.
it begins with we're born alone, we die alone, but there's a lifetime in between, So basically, the song looks at a person's dream and their yearning, and it was like a perfect song for him and I to sing together. And then because I love to arrange, I wrote an amazing set of vocal harmonies for the two of us. I sang many of the harmonies, along the way. And then the orchestration part, Justine Blazer in Nashville is my producer, and she knew Rhonda Vincent, who's really amazing and who's an icon at the Grand Ole Opry. And we just wanted to bring her flavor. And she has this extraordinary fiddler named Adam Haynes, who is just unbelievably talented. So anyhow, we brought them in. Adam's fiddle line opens the song and just crushes it to begin with. And Amanda and Rhonda plays a mandolin on it. So the way we orchestrated the song, it's sort of more in the Americana pocket, but for this year's Grammy, it's going to be as American roots song. I've been like shopping it around of which pocket should it be in, even though it fits Americana very well. But it's the whole song. It works from a low register to a high register, and for me, because I have this really graceful, elegant soprano voice, it just really shines. Demetrius has this rich Greek accent with a gorgeous voice, and then when the two of us are together, it just melts people's hearts. So
I have to ask you.
Yes.
I mean, Constantine is from Greece. How did you connect with someone from Greece?
Well, what I'm very grateful for is I'm in a lot of different musical communities that are global. The Recording Academy is a global community of artists. The International Singer-Songwriter Association is a global community of artists. And I know Demetrius from both of those communities. So, he and I have spent FaceTime through ISSA because we've both been in Atlanta a bunch of times. So in terms of our more personal relationship, it was through being able to talk while in Atlanta through ISSA.
Right. We talk about that ISA and the organizations for indie artists a lot on the show.
Yes.
And I love the Grammys. I put in for it for myself. Not always the most indie music friendly place to be, but you can connect with people there.
You can. The thing that people don't realize, and again, I'm very grateful, having been part of it for 5 years, there are a ton of indie artists who are members of the Recording Academy. There's a huge community. Amazingly good people, collaborative people that want to listen, really, really fine artists who are fine people. And the number of indie artists is growing. I think there's a very substantive growth of indie artists, certainly in the years I've been there. So, and one thing I love about the Recording Academy is it's like a living organism that's growing. They just did a survey of members to ask about our vision, and the kinds of questions they were asking were really looking at representing artists and trying to shape the future of music in the climate we're in, which is the business climate is very hard on the artist. And here's one example of a legislative effort the Recording Academy did that's really helped artists, including me even. When we work and make albums, unless we made enough money to pay for the album, and I don't know anybody who does that, so we all slave at something else to try to generate the money to do an album. We couldn't deduct it from our taxes because if an album costs $20,000 to $40,000, depending on how you do it, and that's just for the production, that's not for the marketing.
Marketing of it, right?
Who earns $20,000 to $40,000 just from their music to pay for the album? Nobody. So it sort of strapped everybody. And I was wondering, can I continue to do this? I do not have a super high paying job, but I work very hard at everything I do. Because of legislative efforts by the Recording Academy, this year, for the taxes I've just filed, for the first time ever, and I've just completed my 16th studio album, my 17th is coming out, so this has been a while that I haven't had any support. I was allowed to take the production expenses for my 2025 album off of my taxes without having to have income to justify it. So they just refunded that all back to me. So what I'm doing is I'm recycling it into the next album. And if that happens again, now it's recycling. It's like work on it, produce it, and if they'll then credit it as a body of work and give me the money back to do the next one, that is an amazing accomplishment of the Recording Academy.
Yeah, it's something in this economy that the indie artists got a little bump, which is great. We'll take it. We'll take it. Well, let's listen to You're Not Alone.
We're born alone, we die alone, but there's a whole life full of time in between. Life can be hard, life can be cold, but there's a warmth inside our hearts that we yearn to share. You must be out there somewhere, in the stars or the sky, or the turning of the earth. I close my eyes in prayer that my heartfelt call will travel through time.
We walk alone, we dream alone, but deep down inside we don't want to go to sleep alone. I know you're there, I feel your touch. You run your fingers down my hand, and then you run them through my hair. You must be out there somewhere, in the stars or the sky, or the turning of the earth. I close my eyes in prayer that my heartfelt call will travel through time.
I know you're there, you wait for me until the moment God decrees that it's time for us to meet.
Your eyes greet mine, you recognize that the meaning of our gaze is now the window to our souls.
I hold your hand, you hold my heart. Though the journey is just begun, I know that we are home.
You must be out there somewhere, in the stars of the sky, or the turning of the earth.
I close my eyes in prayer that my heartfelt call will travel through time to you.
We are not alone.
I am not alone.
You are not
All right, we are back on the ranch with Blast Music 24/7. We are also we have our affiliates, My Indie Radio out in Paris, and also the Plow Zone in California. You could also catch us on all the streaming platforms: Apple Podcasts, Pod Paradise, YouTube Music, Podcast Addict. We're everywhere you want to be. And today we're with Linda with her new song, You're Not Alone. Very sweet. Very sweet.
Thank
And
you.
there were 3 voices in there, right?
Well, it's mostly Demetrius and I do the lead, but I do a lot of vocal harmonies in there. So even when you record, as you know, you record many tracks. So even if I've recorded the lead track, I come in and then I record the other harmonies. I think Justine Blazer also put something on too. So there technically are 3 voices, but when you're hearing the arrangement, I'm singing multiple parts sometimes.
Right, right, right. Well, our listeners like that. They think it's a very
Oh,
nice message.
well, thank you, Billy.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks for chiming in. We have other listeners. Love to know where you're listening from, guys. Love to hear from you. All right. The next song up is the title track, Queen of the Angels.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds like it has some special meaning.
It absolutely does. Basically for not this past year's Grammy, but the year before, I had my tickets, my hotel, my everything taken care of, my pet sitter, and then the wildfires happened. And I got early COVID in November of 2019 and
Oh,
lost my voice entirely for 2 months, which scared me to death. When you're a singer-songwriter and you literally lose your voice, it's like having a piece of your soul ripped out of you.
right,
And,
right, right.
I didn't even know why that had happened to me. And I also had all these other weird symptoms like aches in my body, like I'd never had in my life, this incredible fevers. It felt like razors in my throat. Me, high energy person, felt like I was like knocked to the floor. And then I'd feel a little better, knocked to the floor again, high temperatures up and down. And a friend of mine, I'd gone to her show and given her a hug, and she was sort of like losing her voice a little bit, but I never get sick hugging a person with a cold. Well, 3 to 5 days after I hugged my friend, I started to have what she had, and she got worse. It turned out the two of us were pioneering early COVID without, it being fully out there. But by the time it was January, I was starting to get the hint of what had happened to me and her. So anyhow, having had that happen and then having my voice, it took me 5 years of working with someone I went to college with as a vocal coach to restore the quality and the stamina. The stamina took the longest time. It's finally just about back. Now it's 6 years plus, but that's how long it took to get the stamina back. And there was no way I could take the risk of going where the wildfires were, where there were toxins in the air that could get my lungs. So I was pulled apart because I loved doing that, but for my health, I couldn't do it. So I had to cancel everything. So instead of going to the Grammys, I wrote a song about the wildfires. And in the process, I was researching the history of Los Angeles. My son is finishing his PhD in history, and he's taught me to look into the history of everything. So I did. And one of the things I learned is the Tongva people who were in the area that became Los Angeles prior to the Spanish, they had a name for it called Yanga, which means Valley of Smoke. And it was very prescient that all the way back then, there was the awareness of this potential for these wildfires. So I decided that I was going to write a song about Los Angeles, the wildfires, in a historical context with the purpose of helping people remember. Because I had friends who lost everything, musician friends
Mhm.
that lost everything, their piano, everything they'd ever written, and when their house was burned down, people's lives were destroyed. And what happens in our media world is something is sensational when it happens, and then it's bleeding and leading, and then shortly after that's happened, it goes away, and it's like no one even remembers that it happened, as the people whose lives were affected are, to this very day, they're trying to put pieces together from the Los Angeles wildfires. So I wrote the song hoping it would help us remember and bring care to those impacted. And even if the song were to be a fundraiser for people impacted, I would let the song have that purpose. So it's basically, I created this character, the Queen of the Angels, imagining her looking over the Valley of Smoke and feeling the effects as the flames are burning her wings and her healing harp. And so I also, when I arranged it, I put together, I call it an angel chorus. We have a bunch of women vocalists on the chorus with different harmonies. Justine Blazer, again, is the producer for the album. So in her studio, she brought in a lot of amazing people. Amy Jo, she's one of the background vocalists. Lauren Anderson, who is on The Voice, Justine. There are a lot of other people who you may or may not know, but that was very important to me, creating the angel chorus on the arrangement. And it's a really beautiful song. And just like the video we just saw, the Queen of the Angels video was created by someone named Jeff Hyman, who does a fantastic job finding imagery that really conveys the message of the song.
Sounds like a fantastic crew really came together for this one.
It did. It really did.
And what about the video? How did that come together?
Well, basically, when I have Jeff make a video, like the third song, I made the video with my local sound engineer Doug Hammer, and that's its own story. But when there's a video, there are images that I want to create. Actually, I designed the single cover for Queen of the Angels, and I created like the Queen of the Angels in the Valley of Smoke and with all the colors. So I gave, I gave some of my concepts and ideas to Jeff, and then Jeff is a master of like taking what I give him and running with it and putting it together.
Okay, so let's listen to Queen of the Angels.
Flames burn through the valley of smoke. Once called Yanga, place of poison oak, claimed for Spain in 1542. America's second largest city will need to build anew. Founded as Los Angeles in 1781, in search of gold and oil, with fortunes to be won, the town name reflected its Catholic founder's ways. The largest archdiocese in the USA. So many people scared and homeless. So many dreams have fallen through. Where's the Queen of the Angels? There's so much work to do. Where's the Queen of the Angels now? Have the flames scorched her wings? Have the fires burnt her healing harp? I no longer hear her sing. So many people scared and homeless. So many dreams have fallen through. Where is the Queen of the Angels now? She needs healing too. Artists came to flourish and grow creative dreams, working in music, film and TV. Queen of the Angels watched over them with care until the LA wildfires scorched the earth bare. Even as the fires calm, they leave a toxic wake. Toxic water, toxic air, our health is at stake. The city of the angels needs a repair. Can we work together to heal planet Earth? So many people scared and homeless.
And we are back on the branch, brought to you by Blast Music 24/7. We have our affiliates, My Indie Radio out in Paris and Plow Zone out in California, and all the streaming platforms. You can even catch us on Roku TV from Hotel Universe. So I love our affiliates. We love all our listeners. And listeners, you guys are missing kind of the visual on that one because there was a lot of scenes of the LA destruction after the fire. And it was so more widespread and invasive than I think a lot of the local news media were actually presenting, because I, like you, have friends out there and it affected so many people. I also work with Music Cares, which really
me too.
did a great job raising money. They're a great support for artists anyway. Anything from mental health to hearing to things like that. But they were really rallying around the industry to help get money raised and people who are displaced places to stay. So the visual is very impactful on that one.
Yes, it is. It absolutely is.
So all right, so that was your title track. And then we're going to be moving to Gardener's Lament.
Yes. So that circles back to our earlier conversation about gardens being destroyed by critters. So
Right.
it's like perhaps there'll be a third song of the series, but the Garden Buffet was on my 2025 album, The Silence of the Stars. And that's when more cottontail bunnies than I imagined could exist on planet Earth were in my backyard eating everything, but they left half of it for me. They didn't destroy everything. Whereas the next year, when this jackrabbit, he was a very wily jackrabbit, and he dug a little hole in my lawn. He'd hang out there waiting for the moment that the very tender morsels were starting to form on my broccoli plant, my Brussels sprouts, my cauliflower, my yellow squash, my zucchini, anything cruciferous or squash. That was going to be in his line of vision, like a gangland slaying of my garden. And my neighbor saw a hedgehog join him. So anyhow, when you lose your garden, and that year, the two of them ate everything. Even when I had chicken wire around to try to protect, they climbed over the chicken wire. There was no way I could protect anything from being decimated. They ate my entire garden.
Wait. I'm putting my head around a bunny can climb chicken wire.
Well, this jackrabbit did.
Okay.
I don't know if it was the hedgehog who did it. That's why when you hear the chorus of the song, which is, was it you were the hedgehog? Was it you were the hedgehog? I don't know who did what. All I know is the two of them together were sighted, and they destroyed my garden. I got nothing out of it. It made me not want to ever garden again. So anyhow, I couldn't produce vegetables, but I did end up creating a song, which is a true story with a little bit of ornamentation in the video. And this was a fun video to make because Doug Hammer, who's my local sound engineer, he and I did a whole bunch of my albums before I did 3 in Philly. And then the one I just released is in Nashville, and the one that's coming up in 2027 as well with Justine Blazer. But I envisioned them like garden mafioso. So we came up with these really funny images. We created really funny images of them as they were getting ready for their big heist. And so it was really fun to make the video, and particularly there's there's an image at the very end, which is incredibly cute, that was really fun to create. So people love this, believe it or not, even though it's about the decimation of my garden. It won Children's Song Awards. It's sometimes I'm amazed at what happens with songs. I just write them, and then in terms of what pocket do they fit in? Well, some of them end up getting Children's Song Awards like this one. So people love it. And the best part of the arrangement, there's a wonderful accordion player in Nashville named Ernie Gonzalez. He's on a couple of my songs for my 2027 album as well. His accordion just totally makes this song.
Accordion?
Yes.
Accordion.
You have to hear it. You'll see.
All right. I'm going to go with you on this one, on the whole accordion thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So, for the characters, did you use AI for this?
We had to use AI. There was no way I could catch a hedgehog or a jackrabbit dressed like gangsters or
Right.
sitting at a table. You know, in order to make up fun scenes of what they were doing as they were like destroying my garden. Doug is very good at AI. I was like playing along with him. So when we were working together in his studio, we'd spend a lot of time. I had a very clear image of what I wanted to create, and he was good at knowing how to make it create what I wanted.
And there's an art to that. It's not quite as easy as I want a hedgehog.
No.
I mean, you really have to tweak and keep
You have to tweak
different
it.
versions.
Right. The one thing I'm proud of that I created with AI was that cover image for the Queen of the Angels. That's, I
Right.
created that, and I had a very specific goal of the colors and the way the fire was. I worked very hard to get exactly what I wanted on that.
Right. And it came out great.
Thank you. Yeah. So yes, even though I prefer to have like real life photos and I'm a photographer myself, sometimes when you have more of a mythic a song with mythic characters like the Jackrabbit and the Hedgehog and their escapades, or the Queen of the Angels, there's not going to be a photograph of what's in my mind. So it requires like feeding it in and just continuing to refine it till exactly what I see is created.
Right. I mean, AI has been a really great tool for a lot of indie artists in expanding what we can do and what we can produce on a budget. We don't have the budget of big records. We just don't.
No.
So we have to be a little bit creative, and AI, I think used appropriately, is just a wonderful tool to kind of, enhance our visuals, and
Right.
help us.
I'm a big supporter of using it for something like making a video. I hate it when it's used for music. I actually had a friend who's a wonderful friend, who's a wonderful songwriter, and he released his album with AI singers and AI instruments. And the first time I heard it, it was like really interesting. The second time it was like, this is so AI. And I felt sad. I wanted to hear my friend's voice. I wanted to hear like real instrumentalists play. Because on the one hand, it's sort of cool, but it's like too perfect. Like no human is going to sound that way. And so stereotypical. There was a voice on one of the songs that sounded like someone that has one particular hit song. And I'm sure, AI pulled that person's kind of voice to do it. So I don't like using AI on recording music, but to use it to create really funny graphics, that's a different thing.
Right. I think that's definitely appropriate use. All right. Let's meet the hedgehog and
the jackrabbit.
And the jackrabbit. Here we go.
They can't wait.
I thought you were cute with fluffy brown tick fur. I thought you were quiet. You'd never raise a stir. You sit still when my dog walks by. I knew you liked carrots, but your eating is drive-by. When I read the Chinese zodiac, it told me you were calm, reserved, introspective, never thought you'd do harm. The year of the rabbit was 2023, but this is 2024, so what's your gripe with me? Was it you, or the hedgehog? Was it you, or the hedgehog? Was it you, or the hedgehog who chopped my broccoli? Was it you, or the hedgehog? Was it you, or the hedgehog? Was it you, or the hedgehog who stole it all from me? Were you the culprit who ate my pumpkin plants? My neighbor said you weren't alone. The hedgehog met her glance. My yellow squash zucchini inspired food romance. Jumped over chicken wire in a cauliflower trance. Was it you, or the hedgehog? Was it you, or the hedgehog? Was it you, or the hedgehog who chopped my broccoli? Was it you, or the hedgehog? Was it you, or the hedgehog? Was it you, or the hedgehog who stole it all from me? I wish you had a special taste for ailanthus leaves. They grow like weeds, invade the space, grow rapidly as trees. Please eat my lawn, it's yours for free. Instead, cruciferous veggies are your garden fantasy. Was it you, or the hedgehog? Was it you, or the hedgehog? Was it you, or the hedgehog who chomped my broccoli? Was it you, or the hedgehog? Was it you, or the hedgehog? Was it you, or the hedgehog who stole it all from me? All God's creatures need to eat. That means you, and that means me. I'm not hard-hearted, it's not I don't care. The story would be different if you just share. I know you and the hedgehog enjoyed your garden crime. You cased the joint and waited till the plants were in their prime. You made the hit, took what you want, and left the stalks behind. Next year find a new neighborhood before I lose my mind. Was it you, or the hedgehog? Was it you, or the hedgehog? Was it you, or the hedgehog who chomped my broccoli? Was it you, or the hedgehog? Was it you, or the hedgehog? Was it you, or the hedgehog who stole it all from me? Was it you, or the hedgehog? Was it you, or the hedgehog? Was it you, or the hedgehog who chomped my broccoli? Was it you, or the hedgehog? Was it you, or the hedgehog? I wish you and the hedgehog just left something for me.
Had left something for you. And we are back on the ranch, brought to you by Blast Music 24/7. And if there are any indie artists listening, let me put my other banner up there so you know where to send it. Okay. Anyone, any indie artists listening who wants to submit their music to the ranch and be on the show, you could just find my website, randieoneil.com, spell it with an I, Randie with an IE, .com/shows, and you could be on the ranch, just like Linda did. And with her cute little hedgehog that ate her broccoli, to get broccoli into a song is not an easy task. I'll give you that one.
It's just the truth, though. You know, it's like I write songs about life. Like all three songs I wrote have a degree of autobiographical component to them. You know, they're real life songs. I didn't just like make an image up. So they ate my broccoli. So it had to be in there. And broccoli is my favorite vegetable. So that was.
I was gonna say it has to be your favorite. Otherwise, you don't care about the squash. You're like, you ate the broccoli? Come on, who eats the broccoli? My dog likes broccoli.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Broccoli and blueberries. I don't know.
Yep. Well, sadly, my corgi Noah died about a year ago. We put a corgi image in because my corgi was around and he would have been happy to do something if he could, but they were impossible to corral. But anyhow, yeah, I have no problem if my dog eats something because I just give him a little something, but to have them eat everything is a different story.
Everything.
Everything.
That's a little selfish, like.
It's a little selfish. At least when I had the cottontail bunnies invade my garden, they left something behind.
Yeah. Yeah. That's funny. And rabbits do multiply, so they will be back.
Yeah. Oh, they're a bunch back. But what's interesting is I've never had as many cottontail bunnies as I did the year of the Garden Buffet song. Like the entire lawn was covered with them, and that's a really cute, funny song to listen to too, in terms of the sequence of my garden being destroyed by critters. But yeah, there are definitely jackrabbits around. They make themselves known. But when the cottontails are around, they're huge. Like I think of little cottontails, but they've been so busy eating people's gardens for a while. They're like blowing up.
That's funny. I know behind me where I walk the dog, there's always this big hole that every year they try to fill. And I just watch it. I'm hysterical. I'm watching them fill this hole. And this year, like now there's two. Like it's like they keep filling our hole. We have to have a spare or a whole
Right.
other apartment complex over here. Like
Exactly. Under the ground. Yep.
funny.
Yep, they do that. There are several spots on my lawn that are the entranceways to their condo. So
Yeah. Yeah. So, Linda, you are quite busy playing out in Boston. In fact, you are the ISA rep for the area, and you work harder. You've been awarded for this, for how hard you work for your, people in the area, me included. So, I give you credit for this. And a number of shows you put together for people.
yes, I'm grateful for it. And there are so many talented and worthy singer-songwriters that really want places to play. And there are both traditional and non-traditional venues that could benefit from having singer-songwriters come through. So yeah, over the last 4 years, I've created all these different series in traditional and non-traditional venues. They're everything from a series that go on all year to quarterly to one of them is once a year. And many of the places we bring music doesn't have the opportunity to have this quality of concert because you go to a place like Boston or New York, or there are certain places where the major venues are for where the indie artists play. Myself, I play at those places too. But to expand the reach into communities that really value it is really cool. There are also some cool venues. Like there's a church in Arlington. It's called Chapel of St. Anne. And I built a stage for this year's Arlington Porch Fest, which is coming up June 20th. So I'm bringing in a whole team of people. I'm playing one of the slots, but I've brought in others to play as well. And they have a gorgeous garden with a new stage. Last year, they invited me to play. I sort of was the initiator of the new space for them. And then I started to create a series in the colder weather inside their gorgeous chapel that has art. Some amazing architect designed it. So really cool spaces like that. There's a historical venue in Northeastern Massachusetts, not Northeastern as in the university, Northeastern. It's called the Oaks Ames Memorial Hall. It's this gorgeous Victorian building built in like 1880 something. And this Ames family has been in the town of Easton forever. And if you research them, they've had all kinds of historical roles in the United States and its history. It's quite extraordinary, but it's this gorgeous building. And they have two different rooms, and we have their first floor room. And what's even more wonderful is that I have a relationship with the cable TV station, and they video all of our shows for rebroadcast. So if a person can't be there, a person can watch anytime, and it expands the reach beyond the town. So there are all these amazing relationships. Yesterday, we did a show at the Ship Room at Hotel Vernon, Worcester. Burl Ives created that venue a long time ago. It looks like it hasn't been cleaned or renovated in 100 years, but it has really cool memorabilia. Burl Ives' steering wheel from his ship is on the stage. There are little porthole things on the sides of the wall with his memorabilia on the shelves above. It's a really cool place to play. And I brought in an amazing lineup yesterday. I was playing with Tom Maynard, who's one of my colleagues here. We teamed up as a duo, and we're going to do more duo shows. Then Laurie Diamond and Fred Abatelli with their daughter Annalise, who's extraordinary. They have very spiritual, uplifting songs. And then from Houston, I brought in my friends Carlos and Maddie, who are a husband and wife. They play as Mystery Loves Company. They have the coolest instruments. She plays cello, but she has this electric cello that has an amazing color and is like almost the size of a cigar box. And his guitar is that kind of thing too. But what they do with their instruments is just extraordinary. So we basically put a lot of energy in and blew the roof off yesterday. And also, cool things happen when you do this. Someone I know from another community who's a really good professional photographer has taken to coming to some of my shows. This is the second show he did. He came and he just takes these phenomenal photos of us playing. And it's like, thank you. You don't know how much independent artists appreciate someone just wanting to hear the show and do it. So he did our Oaks Ames Memorial Hall, a week or two ago. And when I saw the photos, I was like, oh my God. And then when he reached out and said, hey, can I come to Worcester? It's like, you can come to any show I produce with gratitude. So
Right.
like really cool things happen. And yesterday when we were looking at who was there, I was lucky enough to go on WICN last Thursday night. That's an NPR radio station in Worcester. And there's a phenomenal DJ named Nick Noble, who is such a supporter of the singer-songwriter world. He's just an amazing human being. He had me on his show so that I could help promote this show. And he played one of my songs, one of Mystery Loves Company's, and one of Laurie and Fred's songs to even support us. So you can create all kinds of really good energy in your community and all kinds of communities by doing it. And as someone who's always cared about building community, healing, and that music is a force for healing and bringing people together, that's what these series do in every possible way.
That's a wonderful, wonderful thing. Linda, it's been so much fun having you on the show.
Thank you so much, Randie. It's been fun being here too.
It's been fun. I'm going to see you in Atlanta. I'm going to see you back in Boston in October.
Yes, absolutely.
So we'll be hanging out some more.
We'll be hanging out. I look forward to it. Absolutely.
All right, guys. Again, thank you everyone for tuning in. Whether you're on My Indie Radio, Plowzone, or any of our streaming services, thanks for tuning in. And there's a bunch of people that have chimed in that are live tonight. We go live Mondays, 7 p.m. We love to have you, and we will catch you next week on The Ranch.
I'm on the road, don't know where it's going.